What's going on, everyone? Today we're doing every single figure I picked up in 2023. This year has just been an exceptional year with everything that's happened between me and my family and just all the opportunities that I've had, not only with Transformers but in real life. It's just been a great year for me, and I hope it's been a great year for you. But I thought I would do a video like this. I got this idea from Republic Cinema. I follow his channel, and I love the stuff he does over there. So cool. Love your work, man, if you're watching this. So I thought I would do one of my own. So this is every figure I've collected in 2023. Some of these guys are missing parts and accessories being transported from my collection to the studio. It's not all in one room anymore, but I'm still doing this for you guys. So hope you guys enjoy, and just please watch just a little and just help me out. The YouTube algorithm loves it when you watch, apparently. Is Armada Smokescreen. This is like, yeah. I don't really know what to say about it other than he looks silly, and I absolutely adore it. Here we have Armada Demolisher. This guy is definitely my favorite Armada figure I've picked up this year. I picked up a few Armada figures from the original line, and he's really my favorite. Hopefully I can get the Megatron mold, hopefully picking up Galvatron, but this guy looks pretty darn fantastic in both modes. Next up is y'all's favorite, apparently. This is Downshift from Cybertron. He's a fantastic figure all around. His articulation really reminds me of a modern figure, and it was just great. Next up was a figure that I don't really understand the hate for. This is Armada Hotshot. He looks great. He looks just like Hotshot, and he can do the thing where he does this and he does that, and it looks fantastic. And I just wish he came with a Minicon like the Power Links version, but outside of that, he is flawless. I know the leg not that good, but really, you're just gonna be nitpicky now? He's fine. Come on, guys. Another Legacy Armada figure that I've got here is Megatron. Now, I don't know where his turret is. I think it's up on the shelf. But this thing is awesome. The quality on this figure is fantastic. And I really enjoy messing around with this figure. He does everything right, except for this. This is the one flaw I have with. It's just kind of annoying that it does that, but it's fine. He looks great on the shelf, and that's really all I care about. Here's a Velocitron one. This is Override. I'm going to refer to it as a he because he is definitely a dude. I think Hasbro just messed up in naming it a girl. But Nitro Convoy here just looks fantastic. Every single angle of this guy looks awesome. I don't mind the parts forming here because you can just stick it onto his back, and it looks just like the show, and what more can you really ask for? Next up is one of my favorite figures of this year. This is Crosswise, I believe, and he looks just phenomenal in both modes. His Bugatti mode blew me out of the water. The fact that they made an unlicensed Bugatti before, like, he was a Bugatti Veyron before it even existed, and it's just nuts. He's just, everything this guy does is fantastic. Definitely go pick one up. Next up is a figure that I have wanted for a while, and I finally have. This is Cybertron Long Rack. Now, he might seem a little weird, and you know what? He is a little weird in his design. It's definitely not your typical figured humanoid design, and that's what I love about him. He's just so unique. He does so many cool things, and he is the epitome of a Unicron trilogy figure, in my opinion. Thick plastic, clicky ratchets, a big gimmick, and he just looks great. Next up is another one of you guys' favorites. This is Cybertron Crumple Zone. Please go pick this guy up. If not, pick up the Dark Crumple Zone because that figure looks awesome. Just be careful of the plastic here. You can see it has somewhat of a luster to it, which means the quality's not that good. I've already broken this part, as you can see. right there. That part had broken off, but I glued it back, and I will not be completing the transformation process. Well, basically, when you fold this in and tab it into that port, if you try ripping it off, the plastic will just shear off. So just don't peg it in when you transform it. Otherwise, this guy looks just awesome, and his gimmick is so cool. Let me get some scissors. So his gimmick is like this, and you... Isn't that just awesome? He looks fantastic, guys, and I really, really want you guys to pick this guy up. Alright, guys, next up we have the Thrilling 30 Generations Skybite. I know he's not a part of the Unicron trilogy, but he kind of goes on that shelf as like the early 2000s Transformers, and this thing is fantastic. Honestly, one of the coolest figures I have in my collection. The transformation is so unique, and he really just came out as an awesome figure. Rest in peace to the voice actor of this guy, because he did such a good job. And he has this little spinning arm, which is so cool, and he has a missile, which goes like this. And I don't know where that just went. Well, let me go find that. Alright, we're back to Legacy with this one. This is Starscream. Almost call him Sideways because I'm an idiot. But no, I don't have Sideways, unfortunately. I wish I had Sideways, but I don't. But this guy works just as well for my collection. This is Starscream, and he's got everything that you need for an Armada Starscream. He's super easy to find. There's about 3 of them at your local Walmart, and he is a great figure. I don't have his wing sword because I think it looks terrible. Oh wait, yeah I do. It's right there. But yeah, I like this guy a lot. But his legs are pretty loose, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. He just stands up on the shelf. This is the Robots in Disguise Legacy Scourge. I customized mine, which is why it looks like this. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. I worked hard on that video, and I worked hard on this custom. I think he looks really good. The paint's a little iffy here and there, but that's just because of the uneven nature of the paint, because I hand paint all of my figures. But I still think he looks really solid, and I enjoy how he looks. And you know, you can find him for 17 bucks at Ross, and I think for that price, this guy is totally worth it. The alt mode and everything just looks fantastic. And our last Unicron trilogy figure, and by far the worst, he is made up of clear plastic joints everywhere. Look at this. This is terrible. This thing's terrible. And I still want the other version, the Armada version. Why? I don't know. I actually could have picked it up, but then I forgot. So I'm going to get one on eBay eventually. But, I mean, you know, I don't even do the transformations in these. But this one's really quick and easy. So I do want to show you the one positive aspect of this figure. And that is going to be his alt mode. You cannot deny the awesomeness of this alt mode. Plus, the gimmick where you press the cyber key in and he can become a flying car. That's really cool. And I think that's I'd be willing to sacrifice that for a good alt mode, because it's just really good. Take a look. The first one I picked up was this Cybertron Galaxy Force Optimus. I don't know if it's Galaxy Force actually. And then I custom painted his guns silver so that they would be a little nicer looking up on the shelf. And I think he looks really good. This figure is just an overall 10 out of 10. I guess the only problem with this guy is that he has every copy that I've owned 2 copies. Both of them have had loose feet or loose hips, and that causes him to fall backwards. But there's a lot of weight going on to this figure, and I think that's, you know, fine when you're considering how awesome and how much of a presence this guy has. And I think that's really worth it, especially because the prices on this guy are down right now. So yeah, that was a top 10 figure of the year for me. This is Energon Galvatron, guys. Not Galvatron, Megatron. Galvatron, he looks more like Galvatron, to be honest. I can't wait to get the legacy version of this figure, just so I can compare the two, but we all know which one's better. This thing's fantastic. Everything this guy does is so awesome, and if you're looking for a big, chunky leader class with cool gimmicks and just a satisfying transformation and just a lot of heft, then this is your figure. This is your figure, guys. And I'm just so happy I own him. And he's such a welcome addition to my collection. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. And that's because this guy is Omega Supreme. Actually, I can move this back down. It's fine. Omega Supreme from the Energon line, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is Energon. One of the coolest figures. He is missing quite a bit of stuff, as you can see. But I don't even care, guys. He also comes with his head, which can transform into this awesome headmaster. This is the most articulated headmaster that I have, outside of another figure that should be on this list. Just fantastic. Such an awesome figure. So many cool modes that this guy can be in. And the overall playability of this figure, honestly, is a playset. He's just a big playset. And that's what I love about this figure, is that he's not afraid of being a toy. And that's what I love about him. Second class that we've gotten, this is Cybertron Metroplex. Now I have him in his worker mode. That's because that's the only way he's gonna fit. I do have one more spot, but I like for him to be over my Unicron trilogy figures, and that's the only way to do it. But this guy looks fantastic. The articulation, fantastic. Just the big clicky ratchets. He just feels like a sturdy, big worker. And that's what I love about this guy, is that he reminds me so much of a Unicron trilogy toy. And I really want to get the original so I can compare these two, but I don't think it'll be much of a competition for this guy. Check it out, we're on Bayverse now, and we're here with the Fallen. This figure I'm so mixed on. I don't know half the time if I like it or if I don't like it, because half the time I try to articulate his arm, this thing pops out. Half the time I move his face, that thing pops off. His alt mode's garbage. His feet are too loose, these pop off. His legs can't stay in place. He falls over every 5 seconds. But he looks pretty freaking awesome while he does it. And that's the only thing that keeps me, like, that it's the only reason why I still own this figure. If this figure didn't look that good, he would be out of the collection. And normally I'm not one to sell figures off, even though I don't like them, because I still enjoy having a new figure in the collection. But this thing looks exactly like the Fallen. He looks fantastic. I love him. Again, his head's not staying on, but look how cool he looks, guys. You can't even tell me that he doesn't look cool, because he looks cool as heck. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Another leader class that I picked up this year was the Studio Series Shockwave. Go check out my Retro Rewind video right there. This guy's looking fantastic. I do have the Byway version here. So we'll have to see which one's better. But, yeah. I don't think it's going to be close, guys. This thing's really cool. I'm just so happy to have this guy. He's definitely the best Studio Series figure that we've ever gotten. I don't even care about the alt mode because mine's not even complete, guys. Mine's not even complete, and I'm telling you this right now. This is the best Studio Series figure we've ever gotten. From accuracy, articulation, guys, is through the roof. I can't emphasize more how articulated and posable this figure is. And he looks phenomenal, doesn't he? Speaking of knockoffs, though, here we have the Byway Sentinel Prime. I don't know the actual name of this guy, but I had one of my favorite YouTube shorts I ever made right there was on him, and it's just such an awesome looking figure. The accessories that they included with this guy are top notch. The shield is gigantic, and it looks just like Sentinel Prime, and the transformation and the alt mode are great, and he came with these awesome back panels, and you know, what more can you really ask for from a knockoff even? And he just looks fantastic. Definitely go pick one of these up. Hey, here's another that's hard to find. This is the Studio Series 15th Anniversary Ironhide. What was that just flew in front of the camera? What the heck? Did you guys see that? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I've also chromed out some of his guns. I've painted his guns in a nice lustrous silver. I've also painted the bumper silver, just to give this guy a little more pop on the shelf. I know that's not accurate, but I think it looks really good. And this guy looks really good. I really want to get the upgrade kit to get some better feet on this guy. But as it stands, this thing is almost flawless. That's how good of a figure this guy is. And that's why he's one of my favorites. Hey, we got another knockoff. This is the knockoff, the Last Night Hound. And he's also been customized. You can see any bling bling on this guy is fully custom painted. He's also been kitted out with a full wear and tear paint job. But it's not completely wear and tear. Still wanted to give this guy that nice green pop. And I know it still looks kind of knockoffy, but I think he needed that green just to give the shelf a little more pizzazz, I guess you could say, because most of the Michael Bay designs were just gray and bland and sad, and that's why I like to keep this guy green. Also, he has a metal die-cast hat, like that's metal. So, again, such an awesome figure, and I love the transformation and the slider on this guy. It's just fantastic, and that's why I love him. Fudge sickles. Alright, now we've got the Studio Series Crosshairs. Now, I'm gonna change my lighting up a little here, just to show this guy off a bit better here for you guys. But this guy is not the biggest deluxe, he's not the best deluxe, but he sure is a great deluxe. Now, my camera absolutely hates this light on silver, so I apologize for that, but I can't really blame this thing. I have taken that part off just to remove the kibble, and then that makes this thing literally flawless. This thing is flawless now, in my opinion, and is definitely worth the buy. So if you find one in your local Target or Walmart, please buy this. You won't regret it. Trust me here, guys. Trust me. Bought this year. The most overrated figure I bought this year is unfortunately this Hot Rod. I don't understand the love for this figure. He's not that good, guys. He's not that good. He's really not that good at all. The transformation's not fun. The robot mode's not accurate. Now, I did give him a custom paint job. I do have a video. Go check that out, by the way. Right there, that eye, you shall see. But he not good. He not good. And he not good. I don't like him. The brown that he was painted in was so ugly. The orange was not vibrant, and now his orange is vibrant, and I love the orange that I have on this guy. He looks so much better now, but the way he came was just terrible. And this figure is still not that good. But now that he's gotten a paint job, he has grown on me just a bit, but still not the best Studio Series figure that we've gotten. Prime vs. Prime. Now, how about the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime? This is, again, the 15th anniversary pack. I do want to paint this guy silver eventually, but I did give this guy some blue on the sides just to break up all that gray, and I think it really worked just to make this guy look a whole lot better. And he does not like to stand up, unfortunately. Even though my copy's feet are tight, he does not have an easy time because of that big backpack. I think SS05 did so much of a better job with that, because I did used to own that figure, but nonetheless, this guy still looks really cool and is a very, very solid addition to any collection. So if you find one for a good price and you're looking for a Bayverse Optimus, go check this guy out, or get the Byway, but be careful, that one doesn't have the greatest QC. Second to last of the 5-pack here is Bumblebee. Now, I'm in the middle of customizing him. You can see that's why he's so shiny and why he is making the camera glare, but I enjoy this figure, but I think the transformation is terrible. I think the color matching is terrible. The quality of this 15th anniversary pack is terrible. This 15th anniversary pack Bumblebee is terrible. That's just because of mold degradation. It's a thing, guys. It's a thing. But he still looks really good nonetheless. And I'm happy to have a Bayverse Bee in my collection. So, yeah. And wrapping up the 15th anniversary pack with Jazz, my favorite figure of the pack. In fact, my favorite Studio Series Deluxe figure. He is perfect. There's nothing wrong with him. He changed my entire perspective on Transformers. Should I make a video on him because of that? Yes. Yes, I should. And will I? Yes. Yes, I will. You guys have to remind me, though. This guy looks so cool. So cool. He's got awesome articulation. Butterfly joints on a deluxe. Butterfly joints on a deluxe. Does he have waist swivel? No. Does he have ankle pivot? Yup. And does that really matter? Yeah, he should have waist swivel, but for an early deluxe, he's still the best? How? I don't know. Will they improve on him? I hope so. But he's still fantastic, and I'll tell you that. Figure I picked up at TFCon for $20 is this Soundwave. Now, mine has had some issues. Exhibit A. But does that stop me from liking this figure? Not at all. I wanted this figure for so long, and I finally got the chance to buy it, and I did not hesitate. He did come with a few scuffs, but again, I'm a figure customizer, and that's what I live for, is to fix up figures. And he just looks so darn good. And if you find him for a good price, and just make sure his quality's all good and everything, you're gonna have a great figure in your collection. And the alt mode is just mwah, chef's kiss. Hey, here's the second drift in my collection. I actually have both Studio Series drifts, but this one is going to be the Age of Extinction, or this is the Last Night drift, I apologize. He looks so good. I did add some highlights here and there, some gunmetal here and there, some gold, and some chrome highlights, and I think that really brought this guy all together. Now, I am willing to sell this guy, so if you're interested, please let me know down in the comments. But yeah, this guy's so cool. Now, talk about needing their own video. These twins are so cool. They are so unique, and I think that is a pretty ironic thing, considering they are super duper unique in the movie, and I just think that's cool how they made them unique toys. Now, I did used to own the Dark of the Moon mech tech versions of these guys, but I think these versions are just a bit better in being better toys. Those are better toys. These are better figures. These things are almost as good as toys, but they just capture the essence of both of these guys so well. The only problem is their kibble, because that's pretty bad. But outside of that, phenomenal. Now let's talk about a figure that isn't overhyped. Dino is the real deal. This thing is so awesome. We were waiting for this guy for so long, and I finally got him, and I am so happy to have him. Look how good this guy looks. I did find this arm blade here. I'm not quite sure what figure it goes to, but I thought it looked cool on Dino, so that's why one of them's like this, and one of them's like this. But yeah, awesome. Jolt here is not as good, but his alt mode's still fantastic, but I think the kibble just gets in the way. Still a really cool figure, and adds a pop of blue to the Bayverse Autobot shelf, doesn't he? Somebody that I can't say adds a pop to the shelf is unfortunately Sideways, but what this figure does add to the shelf is a crazy, wacky design that I absolutely adore. And that's really the name of the game with this guy, and most of the Michael Bay figures. They have these crazy, alien, wacky shapes that just look so cool, and I think the designs are really growing on me, especially this one. I used to despise this design, but now I adore it, because it's so cool. Now, because he has a very big top and a very low, or a very small bottom, he does have some issues. Here is my custom Nest Bone Crusher to be a little more accurate to the source material. This is I guess you just want to call it my custom Bone Crusher, and I am so happy with how this guy turned out. He even has all these little paint chips, I guess could be battle damage. The quality of paint I used was not very high grade, but I'm still happy to have this guy, and he's just so cool looking. Especially the silver just really pops, and that's what I love about that, is that it just gives him so much color and character that he didn't have before. So, yeah, and plus I think the color I used is a little more accurate than the original Studio Series color, so that's something. Third to last here is Sideswipe. I realized that this guy is quite hard to find, and I snagged him at the right time. The Dark of the Moon one's a little harder to find, but I prefer this design 10-to-1. He does have quite the big issue in where his hood is connected by a piece of plastic. I don't even know how thin, but it's super duper thin, and that's why I don't transform this guy, that's why I don't touch this guy, and that's why I'm barely going to talk about him, but still a really good figure, and definitely noteworthy in terms of figures that I collected this year. Second to last is my best custom ever. This is my Studio Series Galvatron. I'm so happy to finally have this guy in the collection. As soon as I saw him, I was like, yes, I have to have this guy. And you'll see later that I have a figure that I based this guy on when I painted him. This thing looks awesome. I really love the paint job I did on him. Super happy with how that came out. And I didn't just paint the robot mode silver, I also decked out the alt mode in a completely new gray that looks a lot more accurate and looks a lot nicer. And I think just with these extra blue and golds, it adds such an awesome pop to the figure. And that's why I love this custom and this figure so much. He's just so good. Now this figure is not, the figure here is not, I didn't pick this entire thing up in 2023. I'm going to have to hold him up because he's being silly. But I did pick up Scavenger, Long Haul, and Overload this year. And there's no way in heck that I'm taking this thing apart because it's such a pain to get apart. But I think that was noteworthy, and this combiner is amazing. Definitely try to get it. Even though it's a pain to combine, the shelf presence and the look of this guy is fantastic. Alright, we're checking out Rise of the Beast, and what better figure to start out with the protagonist, leader himself, Optimus Prime. Yeah, he looks perfect. I can't say any problems with the robot mode other than the hot rod shoulders, but to be honest, they're not that bad. I also customized this guy to just kit him out with some details and just to make him pop even more, and I think the custom went pretty well. The back, but the front, yeah. The most disappointing leader class figure in my collection is going to be not this figure, but he's pretty close. Rise of the Beast Scourge. He's still good. I still like him, but after seeing the Yola Park model kit and after seeing the upgrade kit, I'm just like, wow, this thing really was inaccurate. When I first saw this thing, I was like, wow, look how accurate. Look how good of a job they did. But now it's just like, they didn't do that good, did they? And I was just so disappointed by this figure. I know they could have done better, and they should have done better. So yeah. Figure from this line is definitely gonna go to Nightbird. I hate this thing. I'm sorry that may come off as ungrateful. I'm happy to have it in the collection. She looks great on the shelf with the rest of her Terracons, but I'm just so unbelievably disappointed in this figure. It's like, wow, I don't even know how to fathom how disappointed I am with this figure. It's just really bad. It's just bad. So, but the best Terracon is easily Battle Trap. I did do the fix. If you want to check out the fix, it'll be right there. But he looks fantastic. He's easily the best design from Rise of the Beast in terms of the bad guys. And just look at him. Look how good he looks. I don't have any problems with this figure at all. Some people say the transformation and the alt mode are not good, but I don't understand. I think that's just being a little bit nitpicky, and there's no reason to be that way with a figure so good. Figure. This is Bumblebee. This is easily the best Studio Series Bumblebee figure that we've ever gotten, and I'm so happy to finally have this guy. He's just been a long time coming, and I have him, and I've customized him to really show off those details, and I think it works, and he just works, doesn't he? The Great Deluxe that we got was Mirage. Now, I did just open this guy up on stream earlier this week, but I was very disappointed by the quality of this figure. Now, the joints are super tight. Nothing here is loose, but the plastic quality and just, I don't think the designers put as much love into this figure as they did Bumblebee. And just look at it. It's not Mirage. He still looks fine. The head sculpt's fine, but he's not Mirage. If they slapped a Jazz head sculpt on it and called it Jazz in the movie and it was all Jazz, holy crap, guys, this would have been great. But it isn't. And that's why he's a letdown for me. Here is a Maximal. This is going to be Rhinox. Now, I did do a custom on this guy, link right there. As per usual, guys, I have so many links in this video because I've done reviews of these figures over the year, and I think the custom turned out really, really good on this guy. And I think he honestly didn't even need one, but because I did one, I think it just made him look that much better. And this figure, I don't understand why it shelf forms. It's so good. He looks so good. And he's such a good toy and such a good action figure. But yeah, again, his standing up skills need some work, but I think we can work on them, huh? So yeah. A figure that I was not expecting to like as much as I did was Cheetor. Again, customize it, check it out. But with this new paint job, I can just Oh, so a cool story about this guy is I painted him this color right before I went to go see the movie for the first time, and guys, this thing looks awesome. Even without the paint, he still looked great, but with the new paint job, with the yellow paint job, he looks so darn good. And you can see in there was his original color. Camera focus. In there was his original color, and then that's his color now. So it was pretty orange. I guess a better way to do it is like this. So yeah, he looks a lot better. I'm so happy to have him, because I know he's pretty hard to find, and he's such a good figure. He's simple, easy, awesome. Second to last here for Rise of the Beast is Air Razor. This was my first Rise of the Beast figure that I bought, and she also has been customized. You already know it, baby. And camera focus, there we go. I have painted her wings fully green so she can get that nice wingspan out, and I think it looks awesome. I love the wings on this figure. I know I actually like the mainline design more, but for what it's worth and for what figures in my collection, I really, really dig this figure. And she's big for a deluxe. Like, she is huge. Again, here's Cheetor for comparison. She's almost as tall as Cheetor. Almost. Okay, will be probably the only figure that I get of Scorponok. I will not be getting the Studio Series version because I think it's inferior to this version. We'll go ahead and go through the transformation, but the alt mode's really good. All you have to do is just flip the legs up, take his sword out, flip this part back, straighten out the arms, give him some shoulder pads, close these up, split the legs, and that's it. That's it. That's the whole thing. He's Gappy. He's a mainline toy. Whatever, guys. All right. If you want to be that way, then go ahead and be that way. But for $15 or whatever this guy retailed for, I know it's not $25. He came with a whole lot. He feels really good. I love the scaly detail on this guy. He looks so awesome, and I absolutely adore this figure. But the final two are these core classes. I do have Noah, but I have not opened him yet, so therefore he's not every figure I collected in 2023. But he is there, so I do have both core class molds that released this year. RC's definitely way better. I hate Freezor. He's terrible. Don't buy him if you don't collect Rise of the Beast. Don't buy him if you want a good figure, because he is not that. He is junk. So we're only going to be talking about RC. RC is a mixed bag. I feel like if they had the deluxe price point and they kind of went with like a Earthrise Cliffjumper size with this figure, they could have done a lot more, and I think that's what they should have done. And even with what we get here is really good. I enjoy this figure a lot. I was kind of turned off by it with the original stock photos, but looking at it dead center, you can't tell me this is not accurate. Like, that's really accurate. Even though she's got a lot of kibble, it's really not that bad. Now for Bumblebee movie figures, I bought two. Here's Wheeljack. This figure is so amazing. I love this figure to death, and this figure's story is crazy. Just crazy. I'm not going to tell it because we don't have time. We have so many more figures to get through. And finally, we have Thundercracker. Thundercracker. It's just a Starscream figure, but it's blue, and I think the colors work a little better. If you're wondering what I think about the figure, I think the figure's great. The figure looks solid. The plastic feels good. The transformation's fun. The alt mode's cool. It's just Thundercracker, but Bumblebee movie. I just don't like the head sculpt that much. There's not much character in it. But outside of that, he's great. Alright, we're talking about animated now. Let's get this started with my favorite. It's Lugnut. It's Lugnut. You need a Lugnut. I know he's small, but look at his face. Look at his face. Oh, this thing cracks me up. I love it so much. Such a good toy. Plastic's so good. Everything's just amazing on this figure. We're getting one in the future. I know that, but I don't know if they're going to be able to improve on that. On this figure, unless they make it a leader class and then make it huge. Hasbro, please. Don't make it a Voyager because this is what happened. Speaking of Voyagers, here is the Voyager class Blitzwing. I just made a review on this guy. Go check it out. It's one of my best. I really enjoy this guy. He looks really cool. Mine does have a bit of yellowing here and there, but I don't care. I got this thing for 40 bucks. Are you kidding me? He's perfect. He just nails each and every mode flawlessly. And I love them all to death. I love Blitzwing, and I love his face swapping gimmick. And my favorite face is this one, if you're wondering. Animated review was Shockwave. Check it out. I think he wasn't my first animated figure, but just the concept of this guy being a double agent is so awesome, and that's still why I'm trying to track down a Punch Counter Punch. You already know I'll make a review on that figure if I ever get one. He's just so cool. Look at him. I normally store the fusion cannon right there because he's missing a claw, but you know what? Whatever, dude. Whatever. He's just that cool. The way that they made a stocky guy turn into a big, lanky beast is so cool to me. Let's talk about one of the only legacy figures that I have that's animated, and that's going to be Prowl. Prowl looks good. Prowl's solid. He's fine. He's not as good as the old one, but I will say he stands up 10 times better. That's for sure. He's got really nice feet, and that's easily an improvement. Just, I wish he could hold his shurikens a little better. He can't really hold them. Oh, well, never mind. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. He holds them great. But the alt mode's not as good as the original, but the original alt modes were just something else, so you can't really blame this figure for it. Another animated figure that I have is gonna be the Auto Trooper. He has like these weird ratchet joints. I don't know if they're ratchets or... I don't know what this is. I don't know if mine has flashing, what happened, but it does that. But this is my first experience with the Siege Ironhide mold / ratchet, and this thing is such an awesome mold. I'm so glad we have the Studio Series 86, which we will see later. But yeah, this such a good mold, such a good figure. The colors are great. Everything works for this guy, and that's why I love him. Now this guy has a little special story. So while I was on vacation recording that Sentinel Prime short that you probably watched if you clicked on that eye, I lost a bid for this figure here, which was Prowl, but it was the armored version. I was so excited to finally get my first animated figure, and I wanted it to be Prowl because I thought he was the coolest design until I saw Jazz. But Prowl was the one, and I lost the bid at the last second because eBay's stupid. I literally had it, and somebody swooped in at the final second, and I was heartbroken. I got home, I was just scanning through Transformers lots, and I saw this guy and this guy together for $40. I also got Cybertron Downshift in that lot. So, that was awesome. So that was one of the biggest bang for my bucks I've ever gotten. But these two figures are phenomenal. I love Prowl, but if he could just stand up, he doesn't stand up much. If you've seen any of my shorts, you know he doesn't like to stand up in my shorts. But Optimus here, he's so awesome. I can't wait to get the Legacy version. And yeah, I really enjoy this figure. And you guys seem to as well, because the short I made about this guy did really well. Now these guys, these twins, I made a full video on my thoughts about them, so I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to say that clear plastic is a little fart. That's why I don't mess with these guys at all, but Jetfire is my favorite design. But I know we were talking about Legacy updates. I can't wait to get the Legacy animated version of this guy. I can't wait to see if it's better or worse, because I've been anticipating that figure, and I've been anticipating this figure. It's the only problem with this figure is that it's too big. I've never said this. If this guy was smaller and Lugnut was bigger, we'd have two perfect representations. But this guy looks really, really good, and his light piping is absurdly good, if I take one of my lights here, and if I get it at the right angle, you can see that his eyes glow super duper well. And I'm loving this figure. The transformation's awesome. I don't know why people call this the worst animated figure, because he's so good. Now, this guy I picked up over at TFCon. Don't worry, I have his accessory. Sound Blaster / Electrosag Soundwave is such a good figure, and he does have some articulation problems, but that's a sacrifice for 2 perfect modes. Both modes are so good. They're just perfect. Now, my only issue with Soundwave is he's just a tad too small, but honestly, that's just a nitpick because the colors are just so good. And that's Snarl. Why? He literally has articulated hands. We don't see that in modern day releases. I don't know why he does, but he just does. They didn't need to include that. Now, one thing that they completely missed the bar on was shoulders. He does not have any shoulder articulation at all, nor does he have any elbows, but he's an animated figure. Of course he's not. And he's a Dinobot, so he's going to be in Dino form the whole time. And he's just really cool. I love him. I can't wait to get more of the Dinobots, because I definitely will. And if this guy's a sign of any others, then I'm in for a treat. Alright, let's talk about Masterpiece figures. I only got 2. One of them is Prowl. He definitely needs his own review because he is so good. I want more Masterpiece figures now, specifically the old ones, because they just feel like Generations figures, just upscaled, a little more complex, and much more accurate. Because this guy is so awesome. He's short too. You can barely even see him, but he's big for a normal figure because he's like, he's big. And I guess, I don't know, he's just great. Alt mode is, I just don't want to gloss on this guy too much, but let me just say it's the best alt mode in my collection. Best alt mode of my collection. Full review on Galvatron here. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you watch the video again. Same spot as always. I apologize for having so many of the eyes, but you guys just need to see this guy in a little more depth, because this is the best Masterpiece movie style figure in my collection. He's so good. Just the transformation, it can go jump off a cliff, to be honest. But I mean, you get a good alt mode, I guess. I'm keeping this guy in robot mode forever and ever now, so sorry. Now let's talk about Gamer Edition. We're gonna go worst to best. Now, Cliffjumper, just because he's the worst doesn't mean he's necessarily a bad figure, but he is. I think they could have done a little more with him, even though I say that, he's still so cool, guys. This figure, red and black, just worked so well, and his head sculpt is just so awesome, and I adore this thing. I love how many accessories he comes with, and he just packs a punch. Now let's talk about Megatron. Yeah! Why did we have to clip pointless tabs off? I don't know. I don't care, because now I have him, and now I'm messing around with him, and he is awesome. He just needs a bigger cannon. I know it's game accurate, but I think this Megatron needs a substantial cannon to command the Decepticons, That was really cringe, but I don't care. He looks awesome. And but you already know the best Gamer Edition figure is going to be Optimus. I cannot keep my hands off this figure. I have told you guys that I've been looking forward to this figure so much, and he did not disappoint at all. He is so good. He's perfect. I have no issues with this figure whatsoever. Name an issue, and I'll say it doesn't matter. Side of the legs, gappy. So, you're not looking at the side. Plus, it's really not that bad. We've had much worse sides of figures. Backpack? I don't get it. What's bad about the backpack? The leg kibble? So? Hands in the back of the truck? So? What's that gonna do? We've had hands in the back of alt modes before, and we don't complain that much. And this figure should be no different. So now we're talking about Transformers Prime. Now. Alright, I'm being cringe. Anyways, this is Dreadwing, and this is by far the better mold, or the better version of the mold. He looks fantastic. Colors work really well. The quality of the figure is great, which is something I can't say about this figure. I think this will tell you all. Ugh. The fact that a transforming joint makes that sound is actually pathetic. It's pathetic. But I mean, I do like the green. The green looks pretty good. So I can't lie. Next up, we have Transformers Prime Rumble here, guys. I picked this guy up for $5. Now, he did have some paint scratching, but I just put a Decepticon logo over that. And this thing's so awesome. The design for this character is so amazing. And I love it so much. Now, this is my favorite figure I picked up from Transformers Prime. I know some people don't like it, some people do. I am in the like it category. This thing looks spectacular. Now, I look at it. The plastic honestly feels better than animated. You can look at the plastic. It looks glossy. It's solid, glossy, smooth plastic. And that's just awesome. Awesome sauce. Transformation's super clever. It's easy. It's simple. And I just love this figure overall. Please go pick one of these up. You won't regret it. So first up, we have Leo Prime, and I apologize for the white thing. My camera doesn't really like white, but this figure's so awesome. You get such a bang for your buck with all the fun little gimmicks that you get with this guy, all the little play features. He just feels so good in hand. Like, the plastic is nice. He's solid. He doesn't want to flop around. At least my copy doesn't. And like, his joints are super duper solid. Like his leg's not budging at all. And speaking of other figures, sorry Scorponok that you had to go through that. This figure's so good, guys. Please go pick one up. He was gonna be in my best figures you can get right now video, but I think Inferno's just a little easier to find, and that's why he's on the list. Oops. And he comes with such cool little accessories, and I've been watching Beast Wars lately, and yeah, he's such a cool character in the show. So definitely an awesome figure. Next up is the Heroic Dinobot, and this guy looks so cool. I understand that the flesh the wet or the no fur rat kind of look is a thing, and you know, I can understand it, but he just looks so cool, in my opinion. I think I needed something that looks a little different and out there, and I think that's definitely what you get with this figure. Plus, it's a really solid mold, and I definitely recommend it. Next up is Rhinox, and I got this from a viewer, and his name is Wyatt. So Wyatt, if you're watching this, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it for giving me this Rhinox. Just so thankful for that, and now I have one, and I don't really understand the hate for this figure. He's actually really solid, in my opinion. And the one that we previously mentioned, it's gonna be Inferno. He is so cool, his face is so expressive, and I like him in the show too. He's just so neat. Everything's just great with this figure. He perfectly encapsulates the character, in this robot mode at least. Next up is Optimus Primal. I picked this guy up over at TFCon for a really good price, in fact. And I'm so happy to finally have a Beast Wars inspired Optimus Primal. This is my first Optimus Primal in my collection, and hopefully not the last. So, looking forward to hopefully getting that Studio Series at some point. But this guy is really fun, and I thoroughly enjoy this figure. Now, here's a figure that I was not expecting to like as much as I did. Mutant Tigatron is one of the best figures that I've opened up this year. I'm not even kidding, guys. This guy is so fantastic, and I absolutely adore this figure. He's $17 on Amazon right now, as of recording this video on January 1st, 2024. Come on, guys. Happy New Year. But, yeah, this thing is so good. You just look for yourself. Some of the most solid joints in all of existence. Like, this thing's quality is through the roof. The Ross 3-pack that you can go find at pretty much any Ross. So you got your Sandstorm, you got your Buzzsaw, and you have your Nightprowler. Now, these figures are pretty solid. I think Nightprowler is my favorite, Buzzsaw second, Sandstorm third. Sandstorm's colors are definitely my favorite, followed by, like, it goes kind of backwards in that case. But these guys are really cool little figures, and I love having them in the collection because they just add that pop of color, don't they? But the star of the show is Leader Class Megatron. I was anticipating this figure so much. I was so scared that I wasn't going to be able to find one, and then now he's available super easily. So please go pick one of these up. I know one of you guys on Discord, if you're on the Discord server, go check it out, link in the description. If you're in the Discord, then one of you guys said you didn't like this design, and I honestly could not disagree more because this figure is so fantastic. Even if you don't like the design, it's still a big, beefy Leader Class figure that gives you so much value for that price point. Now, the only problem I have is the head doesn't like the tabbed in. Well, you can tab the head in, but you can't tab the back part in. But I prefer my head to be tabbed in, me personally. But yeah, this thing looks so awesome, and everything about this figure is great. Now coming in at my G1 style figures, as far as pickups for this year, starting it out with the 86 Cliff Jumper. You can find this guy over at Ross or just on eBay because this guy is super good. He's a great representation of Cliff Jumper, and I'm super happy to have this guy in the collection. He's great. Next up is Studio Series 86 RC, and again, my camera does not like the white, but it's okay. This figure's alright. It's your typical RC figure, but she gets the job done. Next up is 86 Perceptor. Might as well just call this thing Perfector because he's so good. And he is just fantastic, guys. Please go buy one, please. Then we got this huge KO Siege upscaled Ultra Magnus. This is going to be my filler figure. And wow, look at that shine. Boom. Let me raise my camera so you can see how tall this guy is. He is huge, guys. Quality's kind of shaky, but here he is with the next figure. It's going to be Beachcomber, but yeah, you can see kind of a big size difference there. But Beachcomber here is pretty darn awesome. I love everything they've done to this figure, and he's just kind of an upscale of the Power of the Primes, but that's not a bad thing because now we have one, and he looks really good next to all of your other G1 style figures. Next is another one my camera won't like, but it's Ratchet. I'm just going to put my hands here. But Ratchet here is such an awesome figure. I do have a short on him right there. Boom. Yep. You already know it's going to be there. But this thing looks so good. Everything about this figure has been so well done. And I'm very excited to finally have a G1 style Ratchet in my collection. Coming right off the toes of Ratchet is Ironhide. Yep, I got both of these guys this year, and I did not have a version of either before this, so super happy to finally have two of these guys, one respectively. But I love these figures. I love what they did with the Voyager price point. I know that some people say it's not worth it. I think it's worth it. Hey, here's another. It's Point Blank. Now you can go check this guy out in my Christmas haul video. I also have a video available over on the channel. Unless I took it down. I probably took it down. Never mind. Just not that good of a review, but this figure is pretty solid, guys. I know that he might look a little janky, but once you get your hands on this figure, you won't be able to take him off because this thing is so awesome. I love it. I'm gonna do both of these guys at the same time, but it is going to be Scrap Hook and Crash Bar. I believe these guys' names are. They're all kind of like the same thing, to be honest, but it's fine. Scraphook is definitely the better out of the two, but both of these guys encapsulate what a Junkion should be. And they look super fantastic, and they're great little toys. If you can find either of these guys, I definitely recommend picking them up. But go for Scraphook first, because he's got a little bit more playability. But he's pretty close. Next up is Studio Series 86 Brawn. Yeah, guys, this is the perfect Brawn. I can't wait for Gears next year, because if Brawn and Beachcomber and the other mini bots that we've gotten lately tell us anything at all, that gear should be great. But this figure is so darn good. Guys, you can find him anywhere. He's pretty easy to find. I've found him in a lot of Targets and Walmarts, so he should definitely be there, and I love him so much. Now for two of the more disappointing, you see, two of the more disappointing figures. These two. Gosh, I was so disappointed by these. I thought the Insecticons were going to be so good, and then they released these. That's all I gotta tell you. Finally, probably the second worst figure that I've picked up this year is going to be the Alicon. Now, he's fine. He's fine. But he's average at everything. He doesn't do anything good at all. Posing, average. Transformation, awful. Alt mode, average. Like, he's just the definition of mid. Alright, next up is going to be Sludge. I love Sludge. I was in a panic to find this guy, only to figure out that Hasbro made more, and now we have a ton of him, and now he shell forms. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that happens to Snarl, so I can get one. I'm waiting it out, just to see if Hasbro will make more. But either way, I'm so happy with this Snarl, or this Sludge. The engineering in this figure is insane. The way the legs work blew my mind the first time I transformed this. You, looking at the side of his legs, would have no idea how much these legs do. Like, I'll just go ahead and just give you a little sneak peek for those that don't know. Like, that's already just a little hint on what they do. They just explode and then rearrange and then rearrange again. But yeah, this guy, he's super easy to find. He show forms to death, to be honest, and I don't understand why. I mean, the QC on copies is a bit shaky. I seem to have gotten pretty lucky with mine being able to stand up most of the time. I do say most of the time, but even then, this figure's still really fantastic. Now, for the big boy of this sort of section, I have Menasor here. Now, the thing about Menasor is I have had Dracostrip, and I had Wild Rider, but I got Motormaster and Dead End this year. So, I'm still missing Breakdown. Please, if somebody knows where I can find one, let me know. I'm begging you right now. I really want to finish my Menasor, maybe even get an upgrade kit, because this guy looks so cool. He just looks so cool. And there's nothing else to say. It's Hasbro's best combiner that they've ever made. Period. And it's just, I can't wait until they make more. I will not be able to show this guy all the way just because he's so huge. He's 18 inches tall front to back, and the glare on this is insane. But what I can show you are his feet. His feet are improved over the Combiner Wars. His guns are improved. He's got an improved chest plate. But this figure overall is pretty good. Just get some rubber feet. This is the oversized Combiner Wars version from, I believe it was Demon Knight, I think. So if you want more information, just let me know. But yeah, he's pretty good. I like it. Alright, we're talking about Legacy now. And the first figure that I have for you is, I believe, one of GX's little minions. I'm not quite sure, but I like this figure. He's alright. I don't really have much to say about him. He's okay. And the other multi-pack guy that I have here, and the final multi-pack figure, is this Seeker. Now, I'm actually selling this guy, so let me know if you want him, because I don't want him. But I'm thinking about, panel lining this just to bring out the details. What do you guys think? Next up, we're talking about the Toxitron wave. We got Mirage, Jazz, and Sideswipe. Not sure where his missile went, but it's fine. These guys are such cool little figures. I did make a short talking about that. Go check it out. Yeah, this set's super cool. I love how visually interesting they are, and they definitely add a pop to the shelf. Now, this guy also would not be possible without Wyatt. Thank you so much. Super appreciated that you gave this guy to me. Hauler here is so cool. The quality on this figure, not so cool. I don't know what kind of QC this is, but the head is so tight. The plastic quality on this thing feels horrifying. Like, listen to it move. It just creaks and cracks and ugh. But I really like the look of it. Like, listen to this. Oh, look how tight that is. Oh my gosh. But I love his face. His face is so funny. He looks like he's screaming death. But still a really good figure. Alright, now we're talking about the core class pretenders here. We got Bayverse and Iguanus. Super happy to have these guys. They look so good. I think I like Bayverse a little bit better between alt mode, articulation, transformation, and everything. He's just the overall better figure and best core class in my collection, to be honest with you. But yeah, these guys are great. I love the colors on Iguanus. I love the colors on Bayverse. Although Bayverse accessory is not that good. But then again, neither was Iguanus. This is Iguanus. I don't know. Another stinker. Road Rocket. The only reason this guy's still in my collection. Yes, it's a dude. It's definitely a dude. But the only reason Road Rocket here is still in my collection is because of the head sculpt and colors. I know Road Rocket's still supposed to have a visor, but I don't know. I like the colors and I like the design. That's the only reason why I still have this figure and own this mold, because the mold is terrible. And I did take some of the kibble off, if you're wondering. And the final core class that we're going to be talking about here is G2 Megatron. I love this thing so much. His colors are so good, and I think they improved on this thing a little bit QC-wise over the original Kingdom version, because the legs on this one don't pop up nearly as much on this one as the Kingdom one, and I think the colors are just punchier and better, honestly, on this version. I just don't like the silver head. Another great figure, and my first figure I ever opened from Legacy Evolution was this figure. It's gonna be Needle Nose. That's right, Needle Nose. And definitely need some toy hacks, labels, and I really want to get those. But this figure is so awesome. I know the entire backpack's strapped to his back, and to be honest with you, I could not care less, because this figure just looks awesome. I love the head sculpt. I think that's what's really doing all the heavy lifting with this figure, but a definite recommend for me. Next up is G-Axis. This figure does have a few quality concerns, but overall is pretty fantastic if you ask me. And the only bad things about him are the greening hips. And the hot rod shoulders, if you're wondering, do have a fix. All you have to do is that, and now he can point with his opening hands. What? Another disappointment for me was Crankcase. Now this is exactly why right here. If he didn't do that, he'd be fine. I have not been able to transform this guy once, by the way. I don't know if that's because of QC. I don't know if that's because user error, and I'm just terrible at transforming things. I don't know. But I do like the colors, and again, that's why he's still in the collection. So, yeah. And the final figure, at least in the small guys lineup here, is going to be Nova Prime. Guys, this thing looks so awesome. He looks so awesome. I love this figure and his look and his just the whole vibe I get from this thing is just so amazing. And he's such a good figure. He's very well done, guys. Go pick one up. Especially when Amazon does another sale and this guy's gonna be like $37 again. And that's when you gotta get this figure, because it's worth it. For a figure like this, it's worth it. So yeah. We're gonna be talking about this Black Xerath. But I'm gonna be doing a review for him soon with a full unboxing and everything, because I do still have that content. Look at that. There. Now you can see him. He looks so awesome, guys. He looks so awesome. I love the details from the feet. This is also a really satisfying thing to do, where you do this. Like the little sound that it makes. It's just so satisfying how it goes like that. Oh, so cool. But mine appears to have some paint dripping here and there, but I love the little glossy metallic paint that they've used, and he's just a great overall figure and definitely worth the pickup. So yeah, guys, that was every single figure that I picked up in 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed, and now I have a big mess to clean up after getting all those figures on and off the shelves. That was a lot, but through all of that, it's been a great year. I just want to thank you guys for all the love and support that you give me, and just for everything that you do. It just means so much to me. I never thought I would get this far. Almost 2,000 subscribers, guys. Oh my gosh, that's so many subscribers, and I just hope we keep going. I just want to reach more people and hang out with more of you guys, because it's so awesome. I never thought I would meet this many people and respond to this many people and talk to this many people. It's just a dream come true, guys, and I couldn't have done it without you. You watching at home right now, thank you. And just, I hope you have a great year with many blessings, and may God be with you. So yeah.